What's up guys, it's me, Kvotsin, and today is the 20th of May, and at this time we were supposed to be in Ireland, but due to unforeseen circumstances we were forced to cancel our trip. We are still very bummed about it. We were looking forward to that trip for a couple of months now, but it is what it is. You know, things happen. Like, setbacks make you stronger, and we will be going next year. We've already decided that we will be going next year, so that at least gives us some hope. And we will also be going someplace else this year to make up for the loss of this trip. But on a more happier note, we're back here in the garden. We've been gone for a week, exactly a week. And it's really impressive just to see nature grow. It's been so insane, like remembering how the garden looked a week ago and how it looks now. It's really crazy. So I'll be showing you how the garden has progressed, starting with the bed on the left. The dill that has seeded everywhere has now formed a carpet of dill. It's very insane, and one of the tasks today will be to trim it out as much as possible. We will be freezing that dill to use it in salads and cooking. Then we have the bok choys that I transplanted in last video. They've adapted really well to the raised bed. They're growing like crazy, some massive leaves, and I'm very happy about it. They look just amazing. Then we have the radishes. They are also very big now. That will be another chore for today, to get them out of the ground and plant some new ones in their place so that we can have a steady stream of radishes throughout the season. And moving on, we have the peas. They have also expanded a lot, and they're finally flowering. The flowers are just beautiful, and I'm looking forward for our first harvest of peas. I am a pea enjoyer. I love peas. One of my fondest memories from childhood is buying like a kilogram of peas with my brother and then getting them out of the husks together into a bowl and then just throwing it out up in the air, and whatever piece you get is what you get, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to harvesting my own peas, so it will be great. Moving on to the next bed, we have the leeks. The one on the right is already flowering. It has a very beautiful flower stem. I cannot wait to see it flower. I know it's not going to be anything special. It's going to look the same as an onion flower, but still it's very impressive to have a leek flower. And hopefully we can save some of the seeds to plant next year. Underneath we have the spinach. That's the most impressive thing about the garden, that prior to leaving for Prague I showed you our massive bag of spinach, and that was because I trimmed the spinach only to a couple of leaves, and it's grown some huge leaves in 1 week. They're just as big as my hand, and that will be another chore for today, to harvest all of those leaves, and we're gonna have to eat them or freeze them because they're very massive. Then we have the chards that I transplanted from last video. They've taken up very well. They're finally growing into a decent size, and I've never had chard before in my life. I know it's very similar to beetroot leaves, so that from that I know it'll taste great and delicious, and I can't wait to harvest the first leaves of chard this season. Then we have our onions. They're growing very well. Garlic, I'm sorry. The garlic is growing very well. And next to it are the tomatoes that are also growing really well. The flowers are starting to come out, so in a couple of weeks we might begin to see our first tomatoes, which I'm very excited about. I was very worried about tomatoes. I've been very unlucky with them this year, but this has given me a bit of peace of mind that they're growing very well. Then zucchini and rocket. The rocket needs to be trimmed a lot from the side to ensure it doesn't go into the zucchini. And the zucchini is beginning to form little zucchinis and flowers that I'm also very excited about. And lastly, the broccoli is growing very well. It's looking very healthy, very crispy and delicious. Can't wait to see the final result in a couple of months. That is it for the raised beds, and moving on to our plants on the deck. The potatoes, I'll show you some footage from last week where they were still very small, and now they're completely bushed out and huge and amazing, and they just look so beautiful and they smell so nice. I'm really happy about the potatoes and how they're growing. Then we have our blueberry bushes. They are already beginning to form fruit. I'm very excited about it. I cannot wait for the initial harvest of some blueberries. I love blueberries. It's also one of my fondest memories of picking blueberries in the forest with my grandparents and then just eating them or making them into a paste with some cream. I just cannot wait for these blueberries. Then we have our pot where I transplanted the surplus spinach, chard and bok choy that I had. It's taken on very well, looking very healthy and delicious. So yeah, that is the progress of the garden. It's been very amazing seeing it grow, and we've been eating a lot of our own produce as of now, and we will keep eating, so that's really good to see. So that is it, and shortly we will be leaving on a hike, so you can stay tuned for some footage of our hike. It's gonna be a beautiful hike. The weather is very nice, maybe a bit too hot for a hike, but it's fine. We love to go on hikes. We have our first kilometer in our legs. We came here to Castle Červený Dvůr. We have walked through the beautiful gardens, and the castle was really pretty. The weather has been great, and we still have 15 kilometers left to go, so I'd better get off of this high porch and better continue walking. Ooh. Oh, I got some sticky willy on me. Beautiful day, don't let it get away. It's so beautiful here. So relaxing. While walking, we actually came across this massive patch of wood sorrel. It's this clover-looking vegetable or grass, I guess you could call it. And this one is really delicious. We used to pick this as kids with my grandparents whenever we were going into the woods. You can just eat this. And it's really crispy and it tastes just like green apples, like really somewhat unripe green apples. It's really acidic and it's really refreshing and delicious to just harvest as you're exploring the forest. And we will be harvesting a lot of this patch because my girlfriend apparently knows how to make a soup out of this. So I'm very intrigued. So we'll be harvesting this and making a soup out of it later. So we are back from the hike. We're back in the car finally. It ended up being 18 kilometers that we walked, but it was great. There was some beautiful scenery everywhere. We are nicely tired and we just cannot wait to get back to the house so that we can finally eat and drink a lot of water because we didn't bring enough water with us. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a lovely day.